Peace family, it's Holistic Selena, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to stop playing into negative thoughts and experiences that happen in life. So step number one is to take on the role of the observer in your life. And please note that this is a gradual process. Maybe for some people it can happen overnight, but for me, it took time. It took time for me in moments of trigger, in moments of pain, or of me messing up, or just looping and spiraling in negative thoughts. It took time for me to observe that rather than to identify and play into that. Practice this because I realized it made me so powerful. You no longer give things outside of you the ability to control you, to change your state of mind, to drain your energy when you observe and then you react from that place of observation rather than reacting from a place of trigger. When you're in a situation, whether it's in your head or in the world, and you have the ability to pause, take a deep breath and observe, that makes you so powerful. Because from that space, things become very clear. You no longer act from a triggered, emotional, animalistic mind. You actually rise into your higher mind and you do what God wants to be done. You act from a place of love, from consciousness, and you break the cycle of pain, projection of pain and suffering, and you shift more into love and creating love in this world. And what this helped me to do in my personal life is to realize my responsibility. To realize it's never about anyone else. It's not about someone else being mean to me or them being triggered by me or them projecting onto me. It's not about them. All that matters is what I choose to believe, what I choose to do, how I choose to react. If I want to choose love or if I want to choose hate, that's all that matters. And I can only do that when I step into the role of being the observer, the conscious, aware observer, rather than the triggered participator, acting from a place of hurt, needing to prove myself, needing to make you feel what I feel. We don't do that anymore as we raise our consciousness. We choose love. So remember that this is a practice and you can begin to implement this in times of trigger, in little situations, road rage, at work, with family, with your lover. When you start to have those feelings of wanting to snap, wanting to react, wanting to be overly emotional, take a moment to pause. Take a deep breath, slow down, and realize this is an opportunity. This is a test for me to be the observer and act from that place of observation rather than emotional trigger. And step number two is realizing that everything is a story in our mind. Whatever we choose to believe about a situation is what's going to continue to play out. If we want to stop playing into negative thoughts in our life, we have to stop playing negative stories in our mind. We have to stop holding on to the negative connotations about other people, about this world, about ourselves. You have to start to shift the narrative in your mind towards one of positivity, towards one of seeing everything as a divine teacher, seeing everything as an opportunity for you to grow, for you to expand into love, for you to know yourself more. And as you begin to understand that everything is a story, you'll start to recognize the negative stories in your mind that have been going on for years at a time, that have been keeping you in this place of trigger, of hurt, of pain, of horrible self-talk, of seeing the world in a bad place. You start to pinpoint the stories. And when you pinpoint the stories, you can then step into the role of being the author, of creating new stories, implementing new narratives within your mind, which then change what you experience in this world. Now, always hone in on the power of the present moment. Get clear on the story that's in your mind right now. What do you believe right now about yourself, about this world? Who do you want to be right now? Choose a story that aligns with that. And understand the story that you choose in this present moment is going to create your next moment. This is how we begin to consciously create our lives, when we begin to choose the narrative and the story that we believe in our mind. And you will gain a lot of respect from people as you take more control of your mind. They start to realize, oh my God, this person is in full control of themselves. It doesn't matter how I'm acting. My worst energy being projected onto them doesn't bring them down. Damn, they're in control of themselves. Damn, they've unlocked the code. Damn, I need to respect this person. I need to give this person more love and more energy because they understand life. And this brings us into point number three, which is the most powerful transformative energy in this world. It's love. Love, compassion, and awareness. These are the three components that will help you shift and heal out of anything. When you're in moments of being triggered or of someone treating you unfavorably or you thinking very negative thoughts or just unhappy with your life, your circumstances, when you can step out of that energy and choose to step into one of love, of observing it with love and compassion and awareness, you take back the power of the situation and what you're experiencing will start to change. My mentor always tells me, change the way you look at things and the things that you look at change. If you're in not the best life circumstances right now, say your mental health is not so good, you don't have enough money to pay for your bills, whatever. When you start to think about those things, when we think about them, it puts us in a state of like anxiousness, heaviness, not enoughness. It does not feel good. It's negative. When we start to think about those things, Use that again as an opportunity to become the observer, to choose what story you want to create, and make sure that story has a foundation of love and compassion and understanding that you're growing, you're learning. It is through the hardest times in life where we learn to be an alchemist. We learn to save ourselves. We learn to be more loving and compassionate. Do this through first adopting those traits and qualities with yourself in your journey. When you're upset, when you're hurting, when you self-sabotage, when you mess up as you're progressing forward, have more love and compassion for yourself. Having awareness will allow you to have that love and compassion. So as we're going through our triggers, as we're maybe having a bad day or someone is having a bad day and they project onto us, become aware in that moment. To react from a triggered place is to be unconscious. To react from a place of love and compassion is to be highly conscious. That is what enlightened beings do. That is what the Buddha did. That's what Jesus did. That's what all of these amazing, powerful entities did. They were in control of themselves and they chose conscious love over choosing unconscious hate. The more you start to practice these things, you really start to understand that one verse from the Bible that says to turn the other cheek. So when people do things that are clearly negative, clearly coming from a place of hurt, suffering, pain, they want you to be in hurt, suffering, and pain. When you can turn a cheek to that and look towards love and be in love, you neutralize that situation and you plant a very huge seed of consciousness for that person. For them to then potentially in the future rise into that awareness of love, into that being of love. So as we stop playing into our own negativity, you are doing the work of God. You are literally doing God's work and you are healing yourself, your environment, your world, and everything around because you stop playing into that story of negativity, hate, projection, trauma, and whatnot. And number 4 is simply accepting everything as a choice. The more you create your reality, the more you have to take responsibility for yourself, your thoughts, your actions, and your behavior. Everything in life is a choice. In every moment, you have a choice of who you want to be, what you want to believe, how you want to react. But you can only really utilize the power of choice through being conscious and aware in the present moment and realizing everything is a choice. In this moment, I can choose if I want to be happy. In this moment, I can choose if I want to think about the past or if I want to just be fully present now and embrace this moment for all that it is. When you realize that the choice is yours, there is no more excuse for when you don't follow through on your goals, for when you act from a place of hurt, from pain, from when you choose to self-sabotage, when you choose to speak negatively to yourself. There is no more pointing the finger or blaming other things or people. It is your life. It is your choice. The power lies within that. When you accept everything as a choice, you then have full control over your situations and your feelings. And when you don't accept everything as a choice, you will stay in the role of a victim and you will allow the outside world to manipulate you, to control you, and dictate what you feel and believe. And that's why there's so many unhappy, suffering, and sick people, because they're unaware and their power is put outside of them. Therefore, they let this world drain them to dictate their states of being, their consciousness, what they can do, what they can't do, and you never actually rise into the position of living fully and creating your reality. And point number 5 has to do with lifestyle choices. When we want to stop playing into the negativity of this world and of our lives, we have to make our life one of positivity. One that is deeply rooted in personal development, where we're disciplined, we're doing the things for our mind, for our body, for our spirit, because you're charging yourself up when you do that. You are showing the world, you're showing God, I choose me. I choose my higher self. I choose not to be distracted by this world, and I put my attention inward to cultivate my best self. So when we have something like a morning routine or a night routine, we pretty much give ourselves a nice foundation to go about the day with more awareness, with more tools, with more consciousness, with more love, especially if we're doing things like affirmation, reading very positive, enlightening books, meditating, journaling, working out. When we do these habits, they help to build more strength in our mind. They help us to pull back more energy into ourselves and step back into that role of being the conscious author of our story, the chooser of our thoughts, the chooser of our actions, and being able to be more present. And if you do feel like you're being triggered, if you do feel like the negative thoughts have taken over you, move your body. Go run outside, go to the gym, go scream into a pillow, go punch, go let it out. Moving the body helps to move your state of mind. I personally love to listen to enlightening audios, whether it's from an audiobook or a guru or someone that I really love and resonate with. It helps me just to remember the truth. Because when we're triggered, when we're in a state of negativity, we forget our power, we forget the power of the thoughts, and we're just kind of in a little state of victimism. And that's okay, we learn a lot there. But just remember not to stay there too long. Don't let that consume you. Don't let it become a part of your personality. Don't let it become a part of your world. You can go there, learn what you need to learn, but then move yourself back to the higher state of consciousness, to the observer role, to positivity, and to love. For me personally, that's where life makes more sense. That's where I like to be. And the last thing I'll say before closing off this video is note how good it feels to be in a positive state, to be the creator of your reality, to think good thoughts, to do good actions, to follow through on your word, to have routine. Notice how good these things feel. And then notice how not so good it feels to not follow through on your word, to think negative thoughts. And I don't know about you guys, but I like the good feeling stuff. I like the things that raise my vibration, that help me to attract more blessings, more greatness into my life. That is what I want. So I'm gonna bring my attention to what I want. And I'm gonna do what I need to do in order to become who I need to be and get what I wanna get. And I do that through consciously choosing my thoughts, being present in this moment and recognizing the story that I'm playing out, the way that I'm choosing to perceive a situation or myself. And I'm gonna ask myself, am I in a state of love, compassion, and awareness, or am I acting more from a place of past pain, trigger, hate, and unconsciousness? Okay, so those are just some simple tips to rise above the negativity within yourself and in this world, and to stay in control of yourself no matter what happens. This is the process of unfolding unconditional happiness, unconditional joy, and being the creator of your reality, which is the greatest gift you can give to yourself in this world. Thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow, much love, many blessings.